Hi, this is May. Thank you for watching my previous video on Nichiren Buddhism as well as the meaning of chanting Nam-myoho-renge-kyo. So today we'll explore further how Nam-myoho-renge-kyo will help us achieve happiness. To explore that, we need to understand a concept called consciousness. So what do we define consciousness as? It is actually the having of perception, thoughts, feelings, in other words, awareness that we have. And in Buddhism, there's actually 9 levels of consciousness. So how does this work? When we have the senses, okay, we take this from the environment, we process it, and this interacts with our actions, our words, and our thoughts to form karma. Karma is imprinted in the consciousness, and from there it exerts an influence on our behavior and our relationship with the world. So I think it's very basic. In primary school even we are taught we have 5 senses. Okay, that's because they only exist in the physical world, and these are the senses of sight, hearing, smell, touch, and taste. From these are the paths that senses will go into our body. And then what do we make out of these senses? We need some place to process them. So this is done by, I call it a CPU, okay, a central processing unit, right? And it's at the 6th consciousness where we try to make out what all these senses are trying to tell us. For instance, if you touch a hot pot, you would recoil because your brain makes out that it's hot, okay, what is dangerous, so you withdraw your hand. So and then after the 6th consciousness, we'll reach the 7th consciousness. The 7th consciousness is usually the one that pulls us down as well, because it's the place where we create self-judgment. Okay, it's actually run by urges and instincts. It's quite deep into the subconscious realm. The experiences there is usually a unique view of our own life based on our accumulated experiences of what we have gone through. So for instance, a person who has been repeatedly abused, they would have very distorted views of themselves. They would feel very angry, they are very stressed out. They also would likely have inferior complex. Okay, so it's the place where we create self-judgment. Now, then we come to the 8th consciousness. Okay, the 8th consciousness, we call it the alaya-consciousness. To put it simply, I call it the karma bank. Okay, the results of one's actions, which is called karma, is whether it's good or bad, it accumulates as seeds. Seeds are potential energy, okay, that produces the effects in your life, either as suffering or happiness. So it is actually a karmic tendency that forms our destiny, and at the point of death, the alaya-consciousness is not gone. It simply goes into latency, but it follows with you to the next life. So if you have a lot of karmic tendency in this life as suffering, for your next existence, you would also have the same, unless it has been purified. And if you have purified this consciousness and you have created many good cause for happiness and good fortune, then your next existence will be more inclined towards happiness and good fortune. So there are some people who experience certain things and events that are unfortunate with no reason. However, it's usually the 8th consciousness at work. Okay, and our natural response when we meet unhappiness is we try to change our circumstances. But for karmic reality that has been is there, once if it's not been transformed, no matter how you change the environment, it won't work. Okay, it's relative happiness, because you can't always keep changing the environment keeps changing as well, and we can't take all this good environment with us when we die. Only when we change our internal condition of life, okay, and with this travels with us through life and death, can we create everlasting happiness. So beyond the 8th consciousness, right, we will have a 9th consciousness. The 9th consciousness is the amala-consciousness. This is the place where it's the pure life force of the universe. is able to travel through the alaya-consciousness, and it's like something like a hose of clean water cleansing out our negative karma. So when this is done, when we chant Nam-myoho-renge-kyo, we activate this energy in the ninth consciousness. When we do that, our being is actually imbued with energy and life force, wisdom. In the negative effects, causes made throughout countless lifetimes can be changed and orientated towards Buddhahood. So when we try to change karma, we are actually facing realities of our past karma. So when these past karmas manifest, right, they come in the form of difficulties and limitations. Okay, but because it arises from this ninth consciousness, this ninth consciousness actually reign over all of the life conditions in yourself, is also in all of the life function in the universe. Then our emerging Buddha nature has the power to cause a profound change to occur. Okay, in this way, we view problems as a means for cultivating our enlightened and original self, which is the Buddhahood or Buddha nature. So we definitely can change despair, unhappiness into a path of happiness, and it's not a relative happiness, it's absolute happiness, because our life condition has been already purified repeatedly, cleansed repeatedly. So thank you for the sharing. I'll share more with you on Buddhism in my next video.